The Bellwether Hotel had the prestigious air that most prominent hotels of its time boasted about. Its limestone facade still loomed over Westbridge Avenue like a judge who had never once delivered a verdict in his life. Time had not softened it. It had merely taught the building which stories were worth remembering. Elijah Moore knew this because he had read every archived article, every footnote, every whispered anecdote preserved in municipal records. He knew the Bellwether better than most of the people who worked there. What he did not know, what he could never quite predict, was which version of itself the hotel would show him tonight. The rain had started abruptly, one of those city storms that felt personal, as though the clouds had waited for him. By the time Elijah stepped inside, his shoes were damp, his umbrella dripping quietly onto the Persian rug. No one rushed to help him with it. The lobby was grand in the way of places that wanted to be admired rather than used. Chandeliers like frozen explosions, oil portraits of men whose names meant nothing unless you had inherited them. A string quartet played softly from the mezzanine, their bows moving in perfect, disciplined sorrow. Adam Kessler was at the desk, because Adam Kessler was always at the desk during the early evening shift. He had been chosen for visibility, tall, clean-cut, neutral-looking in the way companies like to call approachable. He was good at rules. He liked rules. They made the world simpler. Adam noticed Elijah immediately. Not because Elijah was loud, he wasn't, but because Elijah didn't fit the mental image Adam had of Bellwether guests. He was too composed, too well-dressed without being flashy. His coat was expensive, but understated. His watch was vintage, not ostentatious. There was no uncertainty in the way he walked, no seeking approval from the room. Adam's training manuals didn't cover that kind of confidence. Elijah approached the desk and smiled. It was an easy smile, practiced over years of smoothing other people's discomfort. "Good evening," he said. "Reservation under Moore." Adam asked for ID. When he saw the name matched, something in his posture shifted, barely perceptible, but real. He told himself it was coincidence. It always was. The system showed the reservation. Adam saw it. He stared at it for a moment too long. Then he minimized the window. "I'm not seeing that here," he said. The lie felt strangely light when it left his mouth. It wasn't aggressive. It wasn't cruel. It was procedural. That was how Adam understood it. Just procedure. Elijah noticed everything. The way Adam didn't ask clarifying questions. The way his voice flattened. The way his eyes flicked to the security guard posted near the entrance, a former cop named Dennis, who watched Elijah with mild interest. Elijah didn't argue. Not yet. He asked questions instead. Polite ones. Reasonable ones. The kind that made liars uncomfortable. When Adam claimed the hotel was fully booked, Elijah gestured subtly to the lobby. Empty chairs, silent bell carts, no line at the desk. Adam explained it away. Then came Miss Patterson. Elijah recognized her immediately, not personally, but strategically. She was a variable, late 40s, corporate, white, alone, no visible hesitation. The kind of guest Adam's instincts trusted without thinking. Her check-in took less than 90 seconds. Elijah felt the click in his mind when Adam handed over the keycard. A data point added to a growing constellation. Elijah watched silently as Adam explained the breakfast hours, the spa amenities, the complimentary wine tasting in the lounge. When the woman rolled away toward the elevators, Adam's smile collapsed back into neutrality. Elijah cleared his throat. "Still no room?" Adam met his eyes again. "As I said, we're fully booked." Elijah nodded slowly. "Then I'll wait here while you call your manager." Adam stiffened. "Sir, I'll wait." They stood there, locked in a quiet standoff. the hum of recessed lighting filling the space between them. Finally, Adam picked up the phone and dialed. "Claire," he said, "I have a situation at the front desk." Elijah arched an eyebrow. A situation. The words were familiar too. Claire arrived 10 minutes later, a woman in her 40s. Crisp gray blazer, efficient heels. She smiled at Adam, then at Elijah, though hers was the kind of smile that didn't reach the eyes. "What seems to be the problem?" she asked. Elijah explained calmly, precisely. Dates, confirmation number, screenshots on his phone. Claire listened, nodding, then turned to Adam. "Did you check the secondary system?" Adam hesitated. Did you?" He swallowed. "No." She exhaled sharply and typed with quick authority. Within seconds, a line appeared on the screen. "There it is," Claire said. "Mr. Moore, King Suite, 3 nights." Adam stared at the monitor. "I apologize for the inconvenience," Claire said smoothly. "Adam will get you checked in right away." Adam's ears flushed red as he programmed the keycard. Elijah accepted it, but didn't move. "Before I go," he said, "I have a question." Claire tilted her head. "Of course. Would this have happened if I looked like Miss Patterson?" The silence that followed was loud. Adam opened his mouth, then closed it. Claire's smile tightened. "Sir, the bellwether prides itself on inclusivity." Elijah studied her face. "That wasn't my question." Claire straightened. "If there's nothing else." "There is," Elijah said gently. He reached into his coat and pulled out a slim black notebook embossed with a silver seal. He placed it on the counter and opened it. Inside were pages of notes, dates, names, times, observations. Adam leaned forward despite himself. "What's that?" he asked. Elijah looked at him. "A record." Claire frowned. "Of what exactly?" Elijah closed the notebook and met her gaze. "Discrimination." He reached into his pocket again and produced a card, sliding it across the marble. Elijah Moore, Civil Rights Investigator, U.S. Department of Justice. Adam's face drained of color. Claire inhaled sharply. "This is some kind of joke." Elijah shook his head. "I've stayed in 12 hotels in this city over the past 6 months. Same pattern. Subtle, plausible deniability. No slurs, just obstacles." Adam stammered. I didn't mean..." Elijah raised a hand. "Intent is less important than impact." Claire's voice dropped. "You should have identified yourself." Elijah smiled sadly. "Then I wouldn't have seen the truth." He picked up his keycard. "I'll be filing my report tomorrow morning. You may want to prepare a statement." As Elijah turned toward the elevators, Adam called out, panic cracking his voice. "Wait!" Elijah paused. Adam swallowed hard. "I'm not a racist." Elijah looked back at him, eyes steady. "Then you have some unlearning to do." The elevator doors closed. By noon, Elijah received a call from a blocked number. "Mr. Moore," Claire said, "we'd like to resolve this quietly." Elijah sipped his coffee. Quiet benefits one side more than the other. "There's no need to escalate," she insisted. "Adam is young, inexperienced." "Inexperienced in what?" Elijah asked. "Recognizing me as a customer?" Silence. That afternoon, the first article dropped. DOJ probes discrimination at historic Bellwether Hotel. The staff whispered. Adam didn't show up for his shift. Dennis, the security guard, suddenly remembered a dentist appointment and left early. By evening, protesters gathered outside, not just activists, but former employees. A woman who had been passed over for promotion 3 times. A man fired for attitude. Stories stacked atop stories, like bricks long ignored. Then came the second twist. A journalist uncovered internal emails, Claire's emails, warning upper management about undesirable guest profiles and maintaining brand integrity. The language was clean. The intent was not. Claire resigned within hours. The board scrambled. That was when Elijah requested a meeting. They expected a settlement discussion. Instead, Elijah arrived with attorneys, accountants, and a thick folder labeled ownership structure. The bellwether had been quietly hemorrhaging money for years. Deferred maintenance, lawsuits paid off discreetly, declining relevance. Its owners, an old investment group, had been looking for an exit without admitting failure. Elijah had given them one. Through shell companies, trusts, and patient negotiation, he had acquired a controlling interest. He revealed this calmly, almost gently. The board stared at him, as if seeing a ghost who had learned to speak. "You orchestrated this," one of them said. Elijah shook his head. "No, you did. I just documented it." But the final twist came days later. Adam requested a meeting. He arrived pale, sleepless, clutching a folder of his own. "I didn't know," Adam said, "about the history, about the policies." Elijah listened. "I was trained to watch for fraud," Adam continued. "Chargebacks, fake cards, people who didn't fit." "Fit what?" Elijah asked. Adam's voice cracked. "The picture." He slid the folder across the table. Inside were printed screenshots, training materials, internal memos, highlighted phrases Adam had never questioned before. "I don't want to be that person," Adam said. "But I was." Elijah closed the folder. "Do you know why I didn't fire you?" he asked. Adam shook his head. "Because you're not the twist," Elijah said. "You're the proof." Weeks later, the bellwether reopened under new leadership. The portraits were removed. New photographs took their place. Workers, guests, histories, once erased. At the grand reopening, Elijah stood by the front desk, not as a guest, not as an investigator, but as the owner. Adam was there too, not behind the desk. He was a trainee, learning how to welcome people without suspicion. Above the entrance, the bellwether's motto had been replaced. Not heritage preserved, but something simpler. All are welcome, no exceptions. And for the first time in its long, guarded life, the hotel had no choice but to mean it.